Welcome back, and top on the brief this morning is the attack on a Nigerian military camp in Borno State by the Boko Haram in northern Nigeria, resulting in deaths and significant material loss. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, confirmed the coordinated attack, which saw 5 soldiers killed in action, while troops eliminated several terrorists and recovered weapons. Meanwhile, the Borno State governor, in a press release, has commiserated with the military over the death of soldiers and says the attack reminds the state of the callousness of the deadly Boko Haram terrorists. And in Zamfara State, the police command has confirmed the arrest of a notorious regional gun runner, a local gun manufacturer, and several suspected bandits during a series of coordinated operations. The State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Dalijan, disclosed this during a press briefing held at the command's headquarters in Gusau on Tuesday. He commended the officers and men of the State Police Command for their relentless efforts in tackling criminal activity across the state. And the federal government says it is committed to addressing challenges confronting the judicial system in the country. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, gave the assurance at the opening ceremony of the Network of Justice Sector Reform Teams Conference in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. He says the reform of the justice sector is at the core of the present administration's developmental agenda to propel judicial reforms to achieve sustainable socio-economic growth and investment.
The reform of the justice sector is at the heart of the administrative developmental blueprint. You may recall that one of the cardinal items of our Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR administration is to drive judicial reforms to achieve sustainable socio-economic growth and investment facilitated by rule of law, and to address the challenges mitigating or militating against the administration of justice in our country. Accordingly, the federal government is committed to addressing challenges in our justice system through strategic policies and other mechanisms that have direct impact in improving democratic norms, including the rule of law, access to justice, and minimum standards for the enforcement of human rights.
And away from the state capital now to Ekiti State, where government and labor leaders have signed a memorandum of understanding for the payment of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage approved by the federal government. Addressing journalists at a brief ceremony in Ado Ekiti, the state capital, the head of service, Dr. Folakemi Olomojobi, confirmed that the payment would commence immediately and also hailed the state governor, Biodun Yebanji, for the act, regardless of the seemingly minimal resources of the state. And in business news, President Bola Tinubu has written to the National Assembly seeking approval of a fresh 1.767 trillion naira as a new external borrowing plan in the 2024 Appropriation Act. The president's request was read by the Speaker of the House during Tuesday's plenary. If approved, the loan will be used to part finance the deficit of 9.7 trillion naira for the 2024 budget.
I write the request for a resolution of the National Assembly to raise the sum of $2.2 United States provided as new external borrowing in the 2024 Appropriation Act to part finance the budget deficit of about 9.17 trillion.
As the 2025 budget of the federal government will be prepared based on the parameters and fiscal assumptions of the approved 2025 to 2027, it is imperative to seek the National Assembly's expeditious legislative action on this submission.
And on the foreign scene, 3 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli military operation near Jenin in the occupied West Bank on Tuesday. Israeli security forces have reported. A joint statement from the army, the police, and Shin Bet security agents say the 3 militants died in an exchange of fire in Kabatia village, where undercover border police attempted to arrest a wanted man. The Israeli army also says it seized weapons from the scene, destroyed 2 bomb-making labs, and that its forces were still active in the area. And in sports, tennis legend Rafael Nadal has retired from tennis after an illustrious career spanning over 2 decades. The 38-year-old Spanish superstar, who brought joy to many on and off the court, took his final bow after Spain lost to the Netherlands at the quarterfinals of the Davis Cup. And what an illustrious career indeed it has been for Rafael Nadal. Many lovers of the sports in that space will definitely miss his presence in tennis.